Hi everyone, I wanted to put out just a brief video reminder for your virtual child simulation, which is due next Friday, April 7th, by 11:55 p.m. Central Standard Time, to Blackboard. So um, I am encouraging all of you, in order to complete that assignment, all you have to do is download the appendix from Blackboard and plug in your answers to that document. I do not need an APA formatted paper or for you to gel everything together. I would really appreciate it if you just downloaded that document and plugged in the answers. It's going to make things easier on everybody. If you already submitted your virtual simulation, no worries whatsoever. I obviously wouldn't take off points for anything like that. This is just something I'm encouraging people to do from here on out. But if you don't do it, if you don't see this video until after you complete it, again, no big deal. Also wanted to just encourage you and remind you that under every one of those questions, I tell you what I'm going to be looking for you to earn points within that question. There's like a mini rubric for every question. People have been losing points because they just they aren't answering all the parts of the question. So if it's asking you to provide 3 examples of something, or it's asking you to relate it to a certain theory, or asking you to do something else, just be sure you answer all parts of the question. I do go through every question. Now, one person had a really good question today, actually, and that question was, so if my virtual child is doing fine and the reports through the simulation is giving positive feedback, some of the questions are geared towards more like, what are some of the issues with X, Y, or Z, and how are you going to respond to them? I get that. You certainly do not have to make something up. I also want you to put some sort of effort into it. So, maybe you don't have issues, but maybe you explain your positive feedback and what you've done to earn that positive feedback. The choices you made, you can still relate to a theory. You can talk about how you're going to continue doing this because that's been getting you positive feedback or positive results with your virtual child. So you always want to put in some sort of effort. It generally doesn't go well and looks pretty bad if someone just puts no, or that doesn't apply, or that didn't happen to my child. So it may not have happened to your child, but explain why. Explain what's going on. Show a little bit of effort and some creativity in some ways in order to respond to the question. And I'll certainly be looking for that as well. So, really good question from that student. Let's see. You guys are now breaking into the adulthood stuff, which is really cool. So you guys are learning about young adulthood stuff right now, middle adulthood stuff. It probably applies to, I would think, the majority of people who are taking this course. So I hope you're finding some relevant things for your own life there. We often focus on child development because it's super, super important. But there's so much awesome research and so much awesome stuff done for early, middle, and late adulthood. And a lot of really impactful things too. So I hope you're enjoying that. I hope you're finding it applicable in some way. I've been enjoying reading about some of your personal reflections within the simulation assignment. That's kind of the most fun part for me, to learn how it relates to your life or your parenting style or your beliefs about the world or whatever. That's pretty cool. So that's pretty much, guys, all I can think of right now. Again, April 7th is the day. Use the document that I provided for you. You don't have to get fancy with it. Be sure you answer all parts of the questions and start having fun learning about adulthood development. So, all right, everyone. Feel free to email me with any questions that you have. I'm happy to help.